Guys, I was tearing up for like 20 minutes before recording this. The chemistry with the team, with the main cast, is out of this world. I've never been part of such an experience, such storytelling. I finally made it through season 2 of Mob Psycho 100. Anyways, back to our one shot here of the hex crawl using white box. Now this is episode 4, so I'm assuming it's probably going to be the last one because we are up to the evil lair of doom. I don't have a name for it, just been calling it evil lair. So we have Sasha, Baron, and Cohen at the helm here, and they are, well, probably close by the evil lair of doom. I don't think they are like at the front door about to ring the bell, but I'm trying to figure out if the final banana of truth is actually, sorry, the light's blocking, there we go, is actually like unreachable. Like we have to go through the evil lair, which we may certainly will, but I believe the party is trying to figure that out. In the last episode, I kind of mentioned it, like they have to get through the evil lair, but I'm thinking there might be a way to split up. So here is what is going to go down. Let's go to the table and figure it out. So after a long rest, I'm going to erase the current status of the situation. I've distributed the XP from the last session, so they have been summed. We are basically right here. The evil lair is right here, based on, I think, what we rolled up. And the final banana sea is right here. Oh yeah, plus I found this cool little dice tower here. So basically it's just a little dice tower. Anyways, I want to have our party, they did their long rest safely in this hex, which is 912. And upon seeing the evil lair in the distance, basically, this large castle, this evil lair on top of a mountain, surrounded by swampland, I'd say that, picturing it, it's on the ledge, the edge of a mountain. And there is, the banana itself is at the top of a peak that's like right behind it. So basically the evil lair is on the front of it, the face of the mountain from our perspective, from our party's perspective, and the banana is within the peak itself. So I'm going to assume that there is a large wall established, kind of surrounding the banana. So this final banana is just protected and guarded for some reason. Even though the first two we got were kind of not so challenging. The last banana was being held by a werewolf, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So this one's being protected by some kind of evil magician, evil wizard. So, what the hell? An evil wizard's protecting the final banana. And you know what? Here's what I'm thinking. I want to move the banana into the evil lair. Doesn't make sense. It could be a hex nearby, but I want to actually move it. So let's do a story hack and move that banana actually into, I'll do this. I'll do like these little jaws, basically, to signify that the banana is right there in the final tile. And we are here. So our team is at some vantage point. Maybe our halfling thief is on top of a dead tree, scoping out the the entire lair, and it's surrounded by a large castle walls. And we'll roll for this to see if he can spot some weak point in the walls from our vantage point. Now, custom rule here, custom house moment. We will be rolling advantage because he's a thief. So this will be wisdom 9 or less. 2 dice. We have a 10 here, which unfortunately is the lowest, but not close enough to the 9. So he basically shouts down at his team, I can't spot anything. It looks like a giant wall to me. What about you guys? And we'll roll perception, wisdom, for both of our characters without any advantage, because they're just fighters at this point. So they're kind of scoping it out on their own terms. And let's roll for Sasha. We need to roll 11 or less. Sasha rolled a critical 1. That's a critical success in reverse. Somehow, Sasha spots something that cut him by surprise. So let's keep that in mind. I'm going to put that dice on top of his name. Right there. And let's see how Baron does while Sasha just spots something out of the blue. Okay, so whoops, 11. That's unfortunately, Baron's not the best at spotting things. His wisdom is only at puny 5. Puny human. So actually, he's a dwarf, so that joke doesn't work. Now, we will have to go with Sasha's roll. So, let's figure out what that role entails. Going back to our descriptions here, this table in the back, I don't think, so FYI, this version of single sheets is the second version. I don't believe the first version has a solo engine as it's labeled here. The second one does. This one is the second one. So let's figure out what he spots. I'm thinking about which table to use. Narrative shift. Let's do narrative shift. I don't think I've tried that one yet. Do D6. 5. Object introduced. That's what I'm thinking. So basically, Sasha is just doing this. They're all doing this. Just this cliche, like looking around. And for some reason, Sasha spots something. He sees an object. Not the banana. The banana is inside the layer. We moved it from the hex over. And so he spots an object. I think there's a delivery coming. So here's what I'm thinking. As they are, again, kind of on top of a hill, there's not a lot of hills in the area. It's wasteland. It's actually it's swampland, if I'm not mistaken. Nope, it's wasteland. So maybe there is a incline in the elevation compared to the layer in the distance, which is lower, but in the distance, 5 miles away. So they see a caravan or some kind of wagon that's just wheeling up to the front entrance or on its way to the evil lair. So basically, Sasha says, hey, look, there's a large wagon on its way to the front entrance. Maybe it's a delivery. Maybe it's the evil world post office is delivering a package for the evil wizard. His new Amazon product shows up. So they spot that. So what they're going to do is try to catch and maybe take over this delivery, this wagon, and take its place, act like whoever is the wagon to get into this evil lair. So why would a wagon just be going up so casually? It probably has a reason. So here's what we're going to do. Obviously, we're zoomed out here. We're not like, we don't have a map or a grid, like a combat sequence focused on this event. We are theater of the mind for the most part, this entire one shot, besides the hex map itself. So we're going to roll to see if they can ambush this wagon horseback right up to the edge before the walls. So let's roll for d20 for each character. And we'll do the first one. This will be for dexterity. Maybe Sasha will, let's say that the wagon works from our DM perspective. We know the wagon works for this evil lair. They are bringing back product. They're doing something. They're delivering something for the master. So, 1 second. There we go. So essentially, we need to roll to see if they can ambush the wagon before it gets too close to cause suspicion. So let's roll the first one for Sasha. That'll be 13 or less. He's a fighter, so I'll let him roll 2 dice. Okay, they're both successful, so Sasha is able to ambush and take over probably the driver. Then Baron is a fighter, so he also has advantage here with his strength of 11 or less. Okay, the 6 there is successful. Now, the thief, Cohen, is going to sneak into the back. This will be a dexterity move. I'll let him roll advantage with dexterity, 11 or less. Okay, so everybody is able to get into their positions. Essentially, here's what happens. Maybe the dwarf will be suspicious, but a human sitting in the front acting as the driver won't arouse suspicion. So Sasha puts on the disguise of whatever the driver had. They ambushed him, knocked him out, tossed him over. And Baron snuck inside, knocked out whoever's inside, and also threw him out, threw him over. Baron's hiding inside, while Cohen snuck in through the back. He's probably hanging on the backs or hiding behind a crate or something. So maybe it's an open roof wagon. There's no, it's not like a train car. It's actually just a large wagon being pulled by horseback. So that's the current setup in the situation in this scene. Okay, so they're up to the front gate now. The problem is they did all this without getting information. So Baron is whispering through the wagon at Sasha, what are we going to say? And Sasha's like, shoot, we forgot about that. So Baron is looking around inside the wagon to see what's being delivered. It's just crates. It's just random crates of ammunition, armor, weapons, and such. Yeah, let's just make it that. So basically, it's artillery. So Baron mentions that, whispers it's essentially weapons and such. So Sasha has that in mind. So now we're back at the paper here. And we arrive to the front gate, the portcullis. And there is a guard, a very heavily armored individual. He blocks the way and flags down Sasha. The wagon gets to a stop, full stop, and the guard approaches Sasha. Let's see how this is going to go. Will this be a question for the Oracle? Does the guard say anything? Or does he recognize the clothing of Sasha that Sasha put on earlier? I don't know. Sasha looks a little different, so I'm thinking that the guard says, "What happened to Frank?" And Sasha's like, "He called out sick. I took his place." And the guard is waiting for a roll. So we have to roll to see if that excuse works. This will be charisma, which actually Sasha's charisma is pretty decent. It's 14. That's not too bad. So let's roll for it. Will that excuse work? Basically, Sasha's covering for Frank, who called out sick. He came down with the old tossed over into the river. 12 is success. Okay, it barely works. Okay, so the guard is hesitant, but he says, "All right, continue." So he's looking around at while the wagon passes, the portcullis opens, and our team gets inside. So remember, we have Baron and Cohen in the back. Cohen's kind of almost on the edge, covering himself with probably a cloak or something that's hanging like a drapery that's hanging on the back of the wagon. So while that's happening, they reach the inside of the evil lair, the front yard, essentially, the front area. And the wagon pulls around this large fountain. There are 2 guards standing at the evil lair's check-in stand. The front desk receptionist is there, wearing a suit and piece of armor and a helmet. And he has a name tag that says Evil Incorporated or something like that, or Evil Lair Resort Casino, Spa and Casino. And Sasha nods at the guards, just as out of instinct. The guards look at each other, and they let him pass. So basically, the front entrance is there. Now, Cohen is going to actually dip and try to find another way in without really telling the team. FYI, I have a strategy. I have a idea for him to throw a little narrative because we don't have much details on our team. I've been kind of playing this blindly. They've been just kind of these placeholders of typical fighter slash thief. Really, no identities. They've just been there. So I want to give him a little characteristics, mainly for a thief. And there's a reason to that. So our thief dips. We're going to roll dexterity here, but this is advantage because he's a thief. So he's going to dip and try to run around the corner while the guards are being distracted by Sasha. So this will be a dexterity roll, 11 or less. And the 9 is successful. So Cohen is able to dip and get the heck out of there and round the corner into a side door, most likely. So his story will continue separately. That's his thing. He is off the counter, off the table for the moment. So now we're focused on Sasha and Baron, who's inside the wagon, wearing a disguise, acting like some guard who's there posted to protect the delivery inside the wagon while Sasha's the driver. So another door opens on the side of the building of the evil lair, and the guards point him in. So he goes inside, and it's a vast, like kind of like a dock almost. And now we're inside the evil lair. The door closes, this large wooden door rolls down with some gears, and there are random henchmen walking around doing things, moving packages, boxes. And so Sasha steps off the wagon. Nobody has approached him yet. He walks up to the side of the wagon and knocks on the door like 3 times. Baron jumps out, expecting a fight to ensue, but he's noticing no one's approaching him. So Baron whispers, "What do we do?" Sasha's looking around. He says, "Well, we're here, but I have no idea what we're doing. We gotta find this banana. Most likely it's at the top of this place. We gotta get to the top." So Baron's like, maybe there's a stairwell. Remember, Baron's a dwarf, so he's a little shorter. So I'm trying to picture like a low grisly voice. Maybe there's a stairwell on the side. We can find our way up without causing attractions. So Sasha's like, right. Let's keep like a low profile. So while they're talking, I'm assuming someone will approach eventually. Let's roll for it to see if anyone approaches. This will be a D100. Just a standard question. 75% chance. Oh, no, indeed, no one shows up. 96 is a strong no in the mythic rules, so which means not only does nobody show up, but there's an opportunity to leave the area without being noticed or rousing any suspicion. Okay, so the two will leave the area. The wagon just stays. Eventually, someone will approach the wagon and be like, "Or those 2 guys," but not yet. The extreme no really keeps our party safe for a moment. So they get inside the building. They're going through some back hallways without really. They're wearing uniforms that I'm assuming. Yeah, they're wearing uniforms that blend in. Like so, basically like Hitman, Agent 47. They're basically in disguise, so they're safe for now, without rousing suspicion. But they're reaching a doorway that goes upstairs, a stairwell. Those roundabout ones and castles usually have. The very, very tight round ones. So there's a guard who's posted at the door. They say there's a lit up exit sign and it says stairwell. In case of fire, use stairs, and just pointed to the door. So they walk up, they see the guard, he's just standing there, he's by himself. It's a long, thin hallway, and it's the only door there. So they gotta figure out a way to get past that guard. Well, a couple of options here. We can walk up to him and ask him if we need to gain access to the stairway. It's for official evil lair business. Act like we're some upper echelon of this evil resort and spa casino. That might work. That might require a very unlikely disadvantaged charisma, because I don't think the guard will fall for that. Or commit charisma roll. Or we walk up to him, just knock him out. This would require a strength check. Both of our characters can walk in, but then he might gain suspicion, like, why are these guys walking up? So 2 fighters. I think the Cohen, the thief, would think about just walking up and tricking them through some deception. But I believe Sasha and Baron are going to walk up to him and, I have an idea. Okay, so they walk up to him slowly. They're smiling. They're like nodding, and they're kind of talking, pretending to talk to each other. And then the guard says, "Halt! Who goes there? Who are you two? What are you doing here? This area is off limits." And Baron and Sasha, and Baron has his mace behind his back, in his hand, behind his back. Sasha has his flail also behind his back with his left arm. So they both have their weapons talking, and they kind of have these overcoats, the uniforms from the Evil Lair Incorporated. from Acme Corporation, and they're about to swing. So Sasha says, "Oh, we're looking for the bathroom," and I cannot remember the term bathroom back then, the medieval term. It's usually on the top floor. It's on the side, and when they do their business, it falls through a tube, and there's a guy who cleans up at the bottom. I forgot the term for that. Anyways, if you guys know what I'm talking about, you probably will write in the comments if it doesn't get censored. So they're basically asking where the restroom is, and he says, if you turn around, it's right back to the left. There's a men's and women's bathroom split up, and there's also unisex one available in the corner. And while he's doing that, they're going to basically smash him in the face with their weapons. So let's roll for that, and this will be 2 strength checks. The red die will be our Baron, and Sasha will be blue die. They both succeed. Not a problem. So they smash the guard in the face with their flail and mace. He gets knocked out, and they hide his body in the stairwell or below the stairs or somewhere nearby. So they gain access to this. Well, actually, is the stairwell locked? So does the guard have the key? I'm going to say it's locked. Does the guard have the key? 80% chance. I really think he does. He does. Okay. He has a key. They grab the key and open the stairwell door. It is very, very high up. So they can see directly up, in the stairwell circles and spirals around as it ascends into the sky. So they close the door behind them. They keep the key. The guard is in the stairwell. They lock it, and they're going to make their way up the stairwell. So let's see if anything happens. If they run into anything in the stairwell. We will check with our Oracle friend, because so far this is pretty simple. Let's throw a challenge in here. So grab our D6, and let's see if there is let's do a narrative shift. So good event occurs. That's too good. Let's keep that one in mind. Let's do description. 4. Agent, okay. Action. Betray, okay. 5 for theme, the leader. Oh, okay, so this place is haunted. Basically, agent, betray, just going to cause some trouble. We're not really taking it literally. And, oh, wait, no. Betray. Oh, I had an idea. Our friend who left earlier is at the top of the stairwell. So, little plot twist, shall we? Cohen is at the top of the stairwell. He is standing there blocking the way. And Sasha and Bear are like, oh, there you are. Where were you? Which, that's my fault. I didn't really consider, like, oh, where's... So let's take a step back in the narrative. I completely spaced on this. Not the best when it comes to splitting up parties. Okay, so when they went into the docking area, there's all these people around doing their thing. They got out of the truck. They got out of the wagon. Baron's there. They're like, where's Cohen? And Sasha says, where's Cohen? Baron's like, I think he dipped early. He might be trying to find another way inside. That's what I missed. So they basically just had a quick little conversation about it, and they think that he's most likely inside. So back to the present. I think that Cohen is standing up there, and he has his weapon drawn, his crossbow aimed at both our characters, at both Sasha and Baron. And they're standing there confused. Sasha says, Cohen, what are you doing? And Baron says, this isn't right. Are you betraying us for the banana truth? And basically Cohen says, yeah. So here's the thing. Here's some context. Our party was hired to retrieve all 3 magical bananas of truth, or these gems, what do you want to call them? These 3 magical items. And Cohen, being the thief, the little chaotic, not chaotic evil, chaotic neutral, he's going to take it for himself. He says, I've got all 3 bananas now. I snagged them from you guys earlier, and this will get me all the award money and letting you in the dust. So Sasha and Baron are pissed off. They're like, you dare betray us after everything we've been through? Cohen's like, we've only been through like this for a couple days now? And Sasha and Baron are like, we should have seen this coming. We all met in that tavern. So, we didn't start in a tavern, but I'm assuming like we started in some cliche tavern. They're just sitting there. Baron and Sasha know each other. They overhear some a local merchant who's like, oh man, I really want to get those 3 magical bananas, and then he entices our team. They walk up to him and they're like, yeah, we'll help you get your magical bananas. And then Cohen overhears he's at the bar drinking and walks up like, I'll help you guys. What is it like? What's the award here? What's the reward for this? And so they have a little conversation. The deal was made with this merchant who says, if you bring back these magical items, I will pay you all handsomely, like 1,000 gold pieces for each of you. And that's what led them to this little mission. Simple as that. Pretty common stuff. So, but they didn't vet Cohen enough. He is the backstabber here. So he is officially an NPC at this point. He's become an NPC because he's betraying our 2-player characters, Sasha and Baron. So he says, please don't make me do this. Take a step back, forget about this, and let me leave with all 3 magical items. Sasha and Baron aren't going to let him have it. They're not going to do it. So they are... Okay, so I've seen a while ago documentaries about old castles and spiral staircase. They were, if I'm not mistaken, they're all spirally and tight, so it's easier to fight from like below, fighting up, I think, or fighting from like there's advantage from fighting from one spot if you're like can't remember if you're higher or lower. I'm trying to remember the advantage. Sorry, I have to step away for a second. Okay, so they are at this pivotal moment in the story. Cohen has betrayed his team that he knew for so many days, and Baron and Sasha are in complete shock. Not really. So I think Baron says, I knew we could entrust you, you sneaky thief, you sneaky snake. And Sasha's like, Baron, relax. He tries to convince Cohen, after everything they've been through, to not go through with this. So he said some spiel, some very dramatic, cinematic speech about trusting your friends. We can do this together, 1,000 gold pieces for each of us. Don't throw this all away. Doesn't work. Let's roll for it. So, I'm going to disadvantage because even though Sasha has a high charisma of 14, I'm going to do disadvantage because I think Cohen's mind is set in this. So, 14 or less, we take the higher roll. Oh, we have 6 and 8. It actually does work. Interesting. Okay. Did not expect that. So, they're able to actually convince Cohen to back off on his betrayal. But as Cohen lowers his crossbow, a large flaming blade slices right through his heart. Like that. And Cohen drops his crossbow and is dead, just limp. Sasha and Baron freak out in shock as suddenly behind Cohen's body appears a large demonic looking overlord character. This is the boss of Evil Lair. So, officially, Cohen is dead. So, he was about to put the crossbow down and consider it, but Sasha's speech must have been really epic, very helpful, and I did not do it, unfortunately. But the evil overlord appears as a shadow, that's his powers, and he laughs as he sees these 2 intruders trying to approach and steal his secret banana. So his golden magical item of truth. So again, I don't have a name. I've just been calling them bananas because I drew them like an idiot and they look like bananas. I don't know. I really don't know. So it sounds completely wrong. I know, I'm sorry, but that's what I'm going with. So the evil overlord laughs, the evil wizard, and he's like, you dare try to steal my most prized item? And Sasha and Baron are now in a combat. So we are officially going to fight this bastard, and let's get our details. So this guy will not be easy to fight, but this will be the final moment, I'm assuming. So evil overlord. He is the he's the GM of the resort. So this is the general manager of the evil overlord spa resort and casino. So he's going to be trying to stop them. So let's say his AC is going to be a very rough 2, and his HP Gosh, I'm usually pretty light on the HP because it's... Let's do 8, but... Because against distance from 10, but he has a power of Shadow. Okay, so everything in this game is D6, usually. I'll say his attack is actually D6. Let's do D6 plus 1. Let's do plus 1. Shadow. I'm very vague on that. We'll figure it out once we get to it. So, okay, let's roll to see who goes first. I'm going to do D6 with the red for the bad guy and blue for our team. Okay, oh, we barely are able to go first. Okay, so Sasha, unfortunately, Cohen has been incapacitated. And let's roll for Sasha to attack. So AC2, that's going to be tough to hit our target 20 method. We have the +1 from our level. Oh my gosh! Critical! This is like a natural 20. We got a nat 20. We got a critical, which means I get to roll 2d6s to attack this guy. I did not expect that. Holy crap. Okay, here we go. 2d6s with his flail. 6. Okay, so he's down to 6. Oh, whoops, sorry. 2. There we go. Okay, next is, okay, I did not expect it. Next is Baron. Going to attack. Oh my gosh. Oh. Another critical. A nat 20. I swear this is not edited. This is not AI. This is completely natural. I rolled 2 criticals in a row. This evil overlord. Okay, so his power has to be activated. It only activates when he is defeated. So basically, we're going to roll 2d6. Okay, we don't have to roll the 2 attacks. It's obvious. Because that's two dice. 2 is the minimum. So, okay, so it appears he's defeated, but his form dissembles and goes into the ground. The entire shadow takes over the entire room and crushes them, starts to crush them. So they have to do saving throws for both characters. So we're going to do a saving throw. Red is going to be Baron. Blue is Sasha. 14 or more in the universal saving throw. Ooh, they fail both saving throws. Okay, so they both take d6 damage. So this shadow form is his true form. Let's roll damage for against Sasha. 4. That's pretty good damage. 6. Okay, so we have 6. We got 3 here. And ooh, okay, Baron takes d6 damage. 6. Yikes, he is negative. Oh my gosh. Okay, so Baron, unfortunately, also is killed. Okay, so Baron's crushed by the shadow, screams out in tears as Sasha screams, "No!" as he sees his friend and trusty ally crushed to death. You can hear the bones snapping, cracking, and blood gushing everywhere. It is, terrible. So then the Overlord reappears, not as strong, but he reappears with D6 health. So let's roll D6 health. And actually, his armor has been deflated too, so let's push him up to 6. There we go. And 4 health. Okay, so 4 health. That's where he is now. And he doesn't have his little bonus anymore. And his shadow form has been used. So he's back in play, but it's going to be... someone's going to be pissed off right now. Okay, so Sasha is going to... Okay, so the boss attacked. And actually, no. The boss hasn't attacked yet. Or I guess that was his attack. That was kind of a passive activation of his power. So back to our guy. Back to Sasha. Okay, so with rage, he's going to attack. I will give him a rage, so advantage. He's going to attack here with his flail. And, oh, the 19 hits right there. So the 19 hits. We got D6 attack with rage, just a regular roll. 4. Okay, so he exactly defeats the general manager of the store. And the general manager collapses. He evaporates, and the room goes bright. Out of the body of the general manager, the evil overlord, floats this star that shapes into, like the Mario 64 star, stands and it turns into the magical banana. So he walks up to the magical banana, grabs it with his hand, and the entire room starts to shake. Turns bright suddenly, flashes before his eyes. He teleports outside of the evil lair. Resort, casino, spa. It's a $5 resort. People love it. They have great amenities. Great amenities. As he appears outside, the entire castle starts to, like from Super Mario World, where the castles basically destroy themselves. They collapse. As he's standing out there with the banana, and then he finds a last heroic act from Cohen. This will make you tear. I cried. A last heroic act as before the comedy happened. Cohen's body collapsed, but his last effort was to put the two other bananas into the pocket or pouch of Sasha. He reaches into his pocket and he sees the two other bananas. So he has all three bananas. But at what cost? He lost a friend of his, an ally. And he stands there, tears in his eyes, wipes away as he holds these bananas that are still ripe, thinking about his two allies he lost. Well, one's a friend, one's an ally. So time passes. He makes his way back um, to town. Let's say I have an idea. Let's say it's actually going to be right here. There's a town right here, like so, and it's called. Oh, we don't need this anymore. Sorry, I could put that away. Oh, actually, I need to get experience for our guy. That's definitely going to be 1,000 experience points. Hell yeah, that's worth it. I'm just glad that my standard, the boss fight was a little tougher than usual. In real world, like in real D&D, like a traditional play, that the boss fight would be far more difficult. Anyways, so this is the town 213. Let's give this town a name. There is names down here. Settlements. Rockfort. Okay, so Rockfort. It is a town. There we go. Okay. So he is entering the tavern and finds the merchant who gave them the quest, and he gives the bananas and the merchant as promised. But the merchant knows, where's your two friends? Sasha looks down, says, "They are no longer on this mortal coil. Gave their life for these magical bananas." And the merchant says, "Wow, all I need was 3 bananas for my fruit stand I want to open. But thanks, I guess." So he gives him 3,000 gold pieces because it was 3,000, which would be 3,000 XP. And these 3 magical bananas are going to be used for the merchant's fruit stand, so that he wants to open up outside the tavern in the marketplace. And so our Sasha friend lost 2 allies for a fruit stand that usually gets run into by cars in action films. So, but they're magical bananas. They have magical properties for that very reason. So, and there you go. Sasha sits alone at the bar with 3,000 gold pieces in his pocket, and hopeful that this adventure can continue. That's it. That's the end of this very quick one shot. Hope you guys enjoyed. A little comedic, I hope. I hope you enjoyed the comedy. We lost 2 characters, but Sasha survived, and hint, hint, he might continue on in a future spinoff if the demand calls for it from you guys. So, that's it. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you next time.